Well, good afternoon. It's Martin Kobald again with another episode of In the Kitchen with Martin Kobald. And I'm sitting here now today with Chef Alain Hostert from Luxembourg.
Hello everyone.
How are you doing?
Feeling fine. Quite a little bit hot here.
A little bit hot here in Dubai, but
Yes.
you know what? We can handle it.
Yeah, 35 degrees in shadow, but it's great.
Yeah, well, you know, if a chef can't take the heat, then he should get out of the kitchen. You know?
We can't wait to jump in the pool. So
We will do the
waiting
pool a
for
little
it.
bit later. Anyway, Alain is also the Continental Director of Europe Central.
Exactly.
And sitting on a board of Worldchefs, which is fantastic, doing a great job. But you also got like a little side job, you know, like you're teaching in the school in Luxembourg. And we were the last couple of days we were talking about it. You were telling stories, etc., etc. And I'm very envious.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a little school in South Africa, and what you guys are doing is just mind blowing. You know, so please tell us a little bit about it.
So Luxembourg, small country for the most people who don't know it. So
Like
it's
60 by 90 kilometers or something.
80 on 60
80 on
kilometers.
60.
Yeah, like 623,000 people living there. So really small, but high quality. So let's say that education is really important for our government, and they also put a lot of money inside schools. So that's one of the biggest chances that we're having.
Yeah.
Infrastructures are really great for working within. So I would even say like we have too much sometimes.
Yeah.
So first of things we're doing like classes, only 10 students. So in cooking, 10 students, because you have 10 cooking blocks.
Yeah.
So maximum 10 students can cook, because each one need to cook when they're preparing something. So when they start, for example, first year, they cook for one person, for themselves, and they have to eat it themselves, so that they're also learning. But so some students at home, the parents don't cook anymore.
Yeah.
They don't eat so much fish or other things. So for them, it's really important. For us, it's really important that they learning the knowledge of different products, selection of products, different kinds of like fish, meat, and that we don't force somebody to eat something, but we ask at least to
try it
it
once at least.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a nice hotel school. We have like 330 students at the moment running around, from chefs until there's like a BTS, so like a bachelor that you can do while at school for hospitality management.
So how long does that course take?
So like a normal course is like 3 years and can go until 4 years. So you're doing, for example, the first 3 years, and you get the diploma for being chef and waiter. So it's in one, it's like restaurateur, and then after you can still add 1 year. You get hospitality, and you can get at 2 years, so you can go until 6 years by us at school.
Wow.
But at the end, you don't have any practice anymore. It's only theory classes, everything in English, long internships. So you're going like for 6 months out of the country. You can go until 1 year and a half, so for doing for the internships.
Okay.
And then at the end, you have like the diploma of hospitality management, and then you still can continue on even higher schools like Lausanne and such things. But that's then other budget.
But no one can pay those chefs then anymore, you know, because they're just highly qualified. I mean, so the normal 3-year course or whatever, you qualify as a chef with a diploma.
Exactly.
And those courses are all done in French.
So this year, also since 2 years, we start now also having English classes.
Okay, yeah.
So the course is completely done in English. Most of the time, yes, it's 3 years. So first thing you can choose, you can do full time in school. So you're working from you're at school from September until May, and then you do an internship of 10 weeks in a restaurant, in service or kitchen. Then is the other possibility is like you're going like 3 weeks to school, then you're going and working 2 months in a restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's like I say that it's like a practical.
Practical, yeah.
Yeah, practical school.
You're going out of the school and into the industry. Yeah.
Exactly. So doing 10 weeks you're working. 10 weeks you're in school, and the rest of the time you're working in a restaurant. So you can choose. Our school is principal French speaking. Yes, because Europe has me a lot of coming out of France.
Yeah.
But
we've had that discussion for breakfast this morning.
Exactly,
and we're not going to go any deeper into that.
No, but some of the students,
absolutely,
they are English speaking, so we can give them the possibility for doing it in English.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, what I find amazing is, like, you know, Luxembourg being such a small country, taking a lot of care about education, which is obviously important, you know, globally. But also, I mean, the free school, the school is free. It's a free course, and it's not only people from Luxembourg. I mean, you told me there's like a large percentage of your students actually coming from surrounding countries like France, Germany, Switzerland,
Belgium coming
Belgium,
from.
yeah.
So it's a governmental school, and it's Europe. So
European Union.
So that's quite important. So if somebody is coming or applying from another country, like German-speaking part of Belgium, or French, or from France, or from Germany, they can come. That's no problem. They just have to pass the rules like everybody. They have to present themselves. They have to like doing where we're speaking with them for 1 hour, looking if they will fit in the school, and also their language skills and their education skills. We are looking at, and then
obviously, also if they got the passion for becoming a chef, of course, you know.
Exactly.
But sometimes I find it often in our school, you know, people coming in, you know, the first question is why you want to become a chef, you know. And if the answer is like I want to be like Gordon Ramsay or Nigella Lawson, you know, like a TV chef, you know, sorry, then it's not for the industry.
We already got that request if you can learn TV chef by us at school.
Yeah.
So like that's like a new brand possibly, but we don't doing that. We don't do it.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, I think it's important now. The big question is obviously we're all going through a very heavy time with COVID-19, you know, Corona all over the world. Youngsters coming out of school want to become chefs, don't really know, because obviously the hospitality industry globally, it's down on its knees at the moment. You know, it's very tough for everybody. So what would you say, is there still of course a big need for chefs, or for us to create chefs as educators? And number one, and number two is, what would you tell a youngster who is like sort of a little bit in the doubt because of the hospitality industry is not doing so well, not looking so rosy, whatever? Would you still advise them to go for that industry if that's what they want to do?
But history showed us Europe already had nearly 2 wars. But gastronomy and the hospitality industry was always coming back. Yes, something really important. Each moment in life we have food and we have serve. We're going in a restaurant for a wedding, we're going in a restaurant for somebody's in a newborn, we're going for an anniversary, we're going for each different kinds, we're going for food and for having drinks with our beloveds together. So that will never die.
Sure.
What the thing is at the moment, yes, it's a little bit reduced. So what's still happening in Luxembourg and also in Europe, we have the takeaway. So people are supporting the restaurants by buying the food in the restaurant and then eating at home.
Okay.
So because imagine you have to cook each day. Like you're married, your wife needs to cook each day, and each day it's eating the same and the same and the same. It's not so easy. So, but you also saw like the takeaway. People at the beginning were happy, or the children were happy, like having pasta and pizza. But honestly, takeaway after 1 week or 2 weeks, always pasta and pizza is also not funny. So, and once industry is coming back, it will be different. I'm sure, I'm 100% sure it will be different. But stuff is still needed. There are many restaurants, even now in Luxembourg, who are still opening. So they profit of this situation for opening restaurants. And you also start seeing that the restaurants start hiring more and more staff again now. Because by us, sun is now coming, terrace weather is coming, and we know that the government in all Europe giving the permission to the restaurant to open when the sun is coming. So, and when the sun is coming, what the people want, it's again seeing friends, seeing family, going eat together, passing those moments together in the hospitality, and restaurants are working so.
So what you're basically saying, there will always be a need for chefs. Always. Like it proved in the past, you know, history shows us that's what it is. But now, of course, there's a lot of chefs now the last year lost their jobs, and they obviously going to be looking to get their jobs back again, or some of them going into different industry completely. And there's new ones coming up. So what would you advise a young chef to actually get a position once he's qualified? Because there's such a surplus of chefs in the market now with experience, whatever. But there's a youngsters coming up. So is there still a chance for the youngsters to get a job? Because the jobs are minimized, as you say, there will be. You know. So what do they have to do to actually, you know, jump a couple of queues to get on top, to get into the industry? What would they want to have to do?
I think the most important is like when it's opening again, everything. What the restaurants are searching are like fresh people. Some of the chefs, you have to imagine, who were working in hospitality, stopped working, were sitting at home, waiting for work. Probably lost some of the skills and of the techniques that they, or the works that they were used to do, and they were sitting at home waiting for something. And the young ones, the students, are there in school. They are still getting education. They are just like hungry to come out and to show what they can do. And we now in our hotel restaurant, we are taking now staff again. So we also searching for young chefs who are hungry to come inside and to give gas.
Yeah, to give gas. Yeah, to put petrol.
Exactly. Yes. And that's why, if a young one is coming out and his techniques are good and his willing is good for learning and for working, that's what people searching for.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, and I experienced this as well with a couple of chefs I know, where they're like, the pandemic came, they got retrenched or lost their restaurant or whatever. Now they're sitting at home for already nearly a year and watching TV, getting fat, twisting their thumbs, and not really being creative. Yeah. And the danger is for them, number one, not to get a job because they haven't further educated themselves. They become really lazy, and the general public educated themselves very much so. They started cooking more at home. They started baking. Everybody's a specialized baker now. Even every housewife, every houseman or whatever. For the chefs, they haven't furthered their education. They're going to be left behind. So for the youngsters to actually give gas, as you said, put petrol, actually put pressure, and learn, educate. I think this is going to be the solution. You're 100% right. Now, another very exciting project you've got coming as well. We were talking about it the other day. There's the Dubai World Exhibition coming up now, end of this year, and Luxembourg is putting a big stand there. Yeah. And you've been put in charge there to organize it. You've been working on it for like 3 years already, you said? So of course, it was supposed to happen last year already. It's been postponed. I think it's October this year.
Exactly.
It starts. So, difficult task.
Quite not like we have many friends in Dubai running around, so that's one of the first thing. That's one of for the young ones. Start building up your networking because once you're getting out there, you will need the networking. So if you met a chef, ask his business card. Create your own business cards, and when you met somebody, just give it to exchange, because
even a student should have a business.
Even the students need to have the business. That's what something we do in Buzz at school. We tried our students to get as fast as possible their own business cards. Even if it's just 100. If you get rid of those 100, it will mean you have 100 business cards.
Exactly.
So when we started doing for the pavilion, for the Luxembourg's pavilion, one of the important things, like Luxembourg decided to put the gastronomy in front. So when you're coming inside the pavilion, you have one big restaurant. And so we combined. So one of the ideas of the government was to give the chance to young chefs. So all the ones who are working inside the pavilion are under 30 years. All the ones who are coming from Luxembourg are under 30 years. Wow. Okay, I belong to the elder ones, but I'm more.
But you're the organizer.
I'm a little bit more the consulting doing. So we have over 30 students coming. So students coming for 10 weeks, working to Dubai. So from Europe, they're coming here, sleeping here, and working with our chef that was selected. It's Kim Kevin, like a 2 Michelin star chef from Singapore, a Luxembourg chef who had 2 Michelin stars in Singapore. He will do the restaurant together with a local partner, Jumeirah, and. The young ones of Luxembourg, our young chefs from school, will work with him together. Wow. So there will be always like teachers coming with, but the most of the time they're spending like 10, 11 weeks here in Dubai, and they have the opportunity for increasing their skills, visiting pavilions, met other cultures, because I say like Dubai is a hub of different kind of culture that we are not used in Europe most of the time, and so it's for them it's a huge opportunity. Like our principal was saying, like it's for them the possibility first to get better soft skills, like being friendly, knowing to speak with people, getting when you go in another country to still survive. That's also something important, because when you start traveling as a young person, at the moment it's not so easy. Because when you're starting at the beginning, you're kind of shy, you're a little bit scared, and this is the chance for our students to get this experience. If once they're leaving Luxembourg, it will be 1,000 times more easy for them to settle and to find work and to meet people and to increase their knowledge.
Well, it's a lifetime experience for those youngsters, and I envy each and every one of them. And and I'm sure they're going to embrace it completely, because this is something they will remember for the rest of their lives, to have an experience like this, an opportunity just to go to a different country. And like you say, network and just the soft skills, and then also be working with the 2 Michelin star chef at the pavilion, and also working with the Jumeirah group here, which is also high quality 4 or 5 star hotels throughout. I mean, it's just amazing. So that's fantastic. But you've got more jobs, and I'd like to talk a little bit about, you're also the main organizer of the Culinary World Cup in Luxembourg, which happens every 4 years. So you've been doing, I think, the third one you're busy planning now.
The fourth now.
The fourth now already.
Yeah.
Just to see that's how old we're getting. Eh?
Yes.
And I was privileged enough to be at the last one, and it's amazing. I mean, it is a global event. It says I don't know how many teams from all over the world coming, but I'm sure you'll tell us some more. But it is a top class international Worldchefs accredited competition. So what's happening in a couple of words?
So it's like
a couple of sentences I even give you, because it is exciting.
The second biggest competition in the world. We have like nearly 82 different nations participating. We have between 4,000 to 4,500 chefs and pastry chefs coming from all over the world. 45,000 different visitors. We're sending 26,000 menus in 5 days. We have 2 restaurants, one restaurant with 500 places and one restaurant with 800 seats. We have national team, youth national teams. We have individual exhibitions of live carving, ice carving, fruit carving. So many things. So many things to visit. And what is quite funny when I travel all over the world, and I showed a picture of this Culinary World Cup. What's like the cup you can win. Yeah. If I go to Singapore, the people know like, that's the Culinary World Cup in Luxembourg. Yeah. So it's like chefs. We are like a big family, and that's one of those meetings where the family is coming together, where we spend some good time together. There's some competition, but there are like good moments. There's exchanging. Again, we are again in 100% networking, and so it's the same. Like all young chefs who has the possibility to take part in one of those big events where Worldchefs is involved, like also ICA in Germany or the Expo Gas in Luxembourg, like the big Congress of Worldchefs. I just advise going to there, participate if possibly looking with the family or with the associations if it's possible to go there, because to set up a networking it's amazing. Sure. And that's how Expo Gas I slide in. Like there was one of the organizers who unluckily passed away, and I start organizing. So now it's my 4th one. It's a huge event. It's a fantastic event, I think. And now we're in preparation for the next one. So that's normally in 2022. Yeah. In November it will happen. Okay. Let's hope that COVID will be away, but it will be away. Yeah.
So November 2022, that's the date.
Exactly.
In Luxembourg, of course.
Exactly.
And I'll certainly look forward going there, and I hope we're going to see a lot of chefs there, outside of the competitions, but obviously they can participate as well. How can anybody participate in Luxembourg? Does it have to belong obviously to an association? Needs to be a professional chef? Yeah. Just what's the basic criteria to be able to compete in Luxembourg?
Depending which competition. So like huge competitions are like national team, youth national team, community catering team. But there you're coming from the association of your county. Yeah. Most of the time you can be affiliated to an association. Yeah. It's possible, but we have also some who just like with food carvers or chocolatiers from France who are in different kind of association, but probably not the principal one. But it's still a kind of networking. So at the end, everybody can participate, depending of the competition that he's selecting and of the skills he can show and the niveau he can show. Let's say like it's a world competition. The skills
levels are very high,
really high, and we always advise before you participate the first time that you want to show your skills. It's probably the best like to follow it on the internet, looking the pictures what you're seeing, because then you can look where the skills are lying a little bit, or if you have the chance to come compete. Like for example, some national teams. Last edition we could set up 30 national teams and 20 youth national teams. We had the request of 36 nations who wanted to send the youth national team. So what we're making, we advise some teams first time come look, and then you see if you're able with your team for doing it. Yeah. What we're also always doing is like we have the big countries. We all know that some Scandinavian, some Asian countries who are really having big budgets and everything. But we always give the chance to some smaller countries or countries where our heart is on to give them the possibility to also participate in the competition.
Yeah, I think that I just wanted to get to that because we were talking about it the other day, because there's obviously a lot of countries, like a lot of African countries and even Asian countries, etc. Anyway, they just don't have the budgets like those big wealthy countries, They just want to send a team, etc. And you guys, you've got a bit of a budget on the side where you help those people, with a lot of with ingredients or sometimes some good accommodation, etc., etc. And this is for me, it's it's definitely a highlight which needs to be put up right on top there, because this is at the end is all about. You were talking about family. You're a big family, the networking and everything, and this is so good to hear that a country, an organization puts a lot of funds aside to help the other ones as well. The ones that are not as privileged to have that type of money, you know. And we're talking about euros, you know. A lot of people haven't got the currencies to do that, and the sponsors and the support, etc., etc. So that's fantastic. Now I'm going to the next one. We've got another one. The food's coming out just now, so we're going to have to go judging just now again.
Exactly.
But I see there's pasta going on that table.
Pasta's still okay.
They just so we're still okay. So we can still
have a few minutes.
So no stress. So obviously you at the school at home, and then of course you got a wife, and your wife is also in the hospitality industry. So again, another big family. You know, same as me. My wife's a chef. My son's a sommelier. My daughter is a pastry chef. You know, and your wife is running a hotel. She's got her own hotel.
Yeah.
You know, and you said you're working sometimes for her in the hotel in the kitchen, and so it's separate thing. You keep it separate, which is a very clever thing, I would say. You know, very clever. It keeps the relationship going very nicely.
Exactly.
So, and your wife obviously she made a lot of plans within, you know, throughout the pandemic. You know, obviously you guys have been asked to close the hotels, etc. You know, no room sales, etc. So what did she do to survive? Because you showed me some details the other day, which was mind-blowing. Through lockdown, you made record sales. Yeah. How did that happen?
So what first was starting like, okay, COVID, everything is closed. We were shocked. What are you gonna do? At the moment, the luck that we had luck that the hotel was still open, but not for people from outer country, or you had a special permission, or you had to work in a hospital for sleeping in the hotel.
Okay.
So what was happening? We still had a group of four or five persons inside the hotel who had this special permission, and they still had to stay 1 week. We could not throw them out, so we was like, okay, now we will find a way. We will serve them on the room, like breakfast and dinner. We will arrange something. And at the end, because we didn't stop working, the people all around, they saw like, oh, they don't put their hands in the pockets and doing nothing anymore. No, they are fighting, and that was the most important thing. So what started, like we needed like 5-6 days to switch over to takeaway, because takeaway was still allowed. And it all happened with a film, so like
videos you've done.
A small Facebook film, and we're sitting in the kitchen. I was amusing myself to build a hamburger, a burger, and to film it. Yeah. Put some music behind, some writings, and the day after we sold nearly 100 burgers. Wow. And so we went on and on with that one. So each Tuesday we made like a special burger. On Friday, Saturdays we made a special menu or a special plate. And at the end, the numbers were increasing. We had like this weekend was Easter weekend. We made like over 200 menus in a day. Or she made like, because it's like she's working with her brother in the kitchen, and she's doing the service.
Ketchup, no need.
So tasting is running on, like you're seeing. Yeah. Chef Uwe is hungry.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So.
But what's fascinating for me as well? Yes, you made all those little videos, those films, and you know you promoted it on Facebook and social media. And obviously, there again comes back to the network. You need to have the network to be able to do that. So it's a matter of building up. So it's not from one day to another. So you need to build it up with good quality social media. And then of course, you know, you mentioned burger. But we were talking about you had foie gras, you're selling langoustines, prawns, or whatever. Yep. So it's not that the people are just looking for normal, straightforward. No. You need to do something different. What you not get in a pizza place or pasta place or whatever. Yeah.
Like it's like in Luxembourg, like in many countries, you have like a lot of Chinese restaurants, a lot of Italian restaurants. Yeah. So we're just looking which restaurants are still open around. And you saw like the most restaurants were closing, and most of the time people were, the pizza restaurant, Italian restaurant were open. So we want to do something else. It was the first one, the best quality as possible, as fresh as possible, each day fresh. Yeah. And then we had to choose between doing the takeaway in cold or do the takeaway in hot. And we decided to send hot, so people passing, get the food, come home, can eat it. They didn't have to prepare something anymore again at home. Like a fish platter, like seafood platter. At the beginning we were trying it and it was like high quality, high price. And at the end it was working fantastic. It's even still now, so after the pandemic, the restaurants still closed, they were open a little time. We put it on the menu and we're still selling it. People are traveling like 30, 45, 56 kilometers because Luxembourg is quite small and Luxembourgish people don't like to travel, so it's quite far away, 40 kilometers for traveling, for coming eating a seafood platter. So the people are sitting there. Takeaway also.
Unbelievable.
And they're like evenings we had like 100 seafood platters for takeaway.
Wow.
And that's a high budget, was like a whole lobster, oysters, the langoustine, some kind of mussels and everything. So really, and the people were searching for quality. We had like a farmer in the village. He had some beef meat to sell. So we bought everything. We sold like kind of tomahawks, fresh quality out of the village, and the people came for buying something better that they could buy in the supermarket. Because after a certain moment, people had enough of these, like I was saying, like of eating pasta and always eating the same frozen things.
Exactly.
And so they came back for eating some fresh food.
Well, I think it's amazing, and I think you need to go back to work now because I see there's some chicken coming. You're the chicken head judge there today, but it's okay. Chef Uwe is there as well, so it's all good. We've got a good quality bunch of chefs here and judges. My fish is coming now as well, so I need to also go judging. But I say thank you very much.
With pleasure.
Very good.
Thank you.
See you.